This is what I think I observe from up close, frankly, is that there's been a relationship between bars and bar employees for years that was transactional, which is to say, I've got a job, you want to fill it. The person coming in to fill the job says, hey, I want temporary work. Either I'm young and I'm doing it during school or I'm in between jobs. And there was a sort of a transactional nature. And then I think post-COVID, we lost a lot of people and the transactional nature went away because there just wasn't as many people coming in for that type of work. And we've had to rethink employment to some extent and to be, as employers, invest more into people than what we traditionally did before. And understanding too, with prices and costs going up, I should say costs going up on everything, creating some tenure and some continuity in the business matters more than it did before. And that's from afar. That isn't to say that people in our industry haven't valued employees in the past. I'm not suggesting that, but just sort of as a baseline on what the behaviors look like. A lot of emphasis on guests from a people perspective, not quite the same energy put towards employees, and that might need to shift. That's my 10,000 foot view perspective.
So in the UK and Europe, we not only had COVID here, we also had the B word, we had Brexit. So, geographically where we're positioned and with free movement of people, we had in London, because I'm London based, we had in London just transitional staff coming through, people coming for their 2 years, 3 years, whatever abroad, coming to learn bartending in London as well, from France, Italy, Spain, so we had this mass of like influx. Going back to like when I was sort of frontline, so like 2008, 2009, when I was frontline, we never had to advertise for staff. We would have had a stack of CVs where people would just come to the bar, just hand in the CV, and you'd have, name, date, what they wanted, put it away, fine. And you could just go through them to get trials in, you just had an abundance of people. But then COVID happened, and then a lot of people here that worked in the industry got trapped in their home countries for 2 years. And then we lost a lot of people that didn't want to come back. And then it coincided with the finalization of Brexit. And then it meant as well too that people couldn't come back because then they couldn't apply for their long-standing visa because we had been here and stuff. So we had a big exodus in London, specifically London, of people that couldn't come back and didn't want to come back to work in the industry. And then we have here, I don't know if it's the same with you guys and there, like we have sort of, types of people that work in hospitality. They're the people that just want to pay the rent. They pay the bills, they're students, they're here for a good time, but they're not here for a long time, and that's fine. It's absolutely fine. And we'll teach them the skills. And sometimes we teach them so much of the skills that they stay and they become lifers, or we have the people that have decided that it's a career, but we don't really have the foundation here where we can, go into sort of schools and list out all the careers that we have in hospitality. And there's a lot of ignorance, as to what we have and what we can offer as an industry, the younger people. So in terms of finding staff, lots of people here's perception would just be, it's just to pay the rent, and they don't understand this wealth of career paths that you can have within the industry. So we struggle with that.